How do you write, Chris? Or do you work on sequencers and program at home? Or do you sit down with a guitar, or piano? How do you write?
Oh, all of the above, except all of my equipment is so dated that I don't sit on a computer and sit and program any of these recording programs now, Acid or anything, where people just
Mm-hmm.
chop and cut, because I am a little old school when it comes to that. I don't own a sampler that was made after like '96 even. A lot of it will be writing guitar, and I'm actually just throwing that down onto non-computer recorded device, and I'll flesh out the track before I go in the studio or whatever. But it'll all be played out in my head before I play it in, and then I'll have an engineer that knows how to work or that'll sit behind the board and record things, and then edit them out for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
for making the music that's seemingly was cutting edge, modern, doing stuff well beyond its years. I'm still using the approaches that they were using back then. I don't know if it makes it sound more authentic, but yeah, I'm old school.
So tell me, with the new record, are you looking at maybe doing videos and stuff like that again, or is that just something that maybe pops into your head when the time comes?
So there'll definitely be video, and probably even on the release, because I've already talked to the director of one of the two videos that was from the last album, and he's already fleshing out ideas for one of the videos that we were going to start shooting. And again, everything's delayed in September, but probably this coming December we'll actually start production on it. And I just kind of hand that over to him, and he throws a bunch of ideas at me, and then he puts the whole production schedule together for that. But there'll definitely be at least one, probably more than one, like the last album. We enjoy making them, and I have tons of resources since I work in that field,
Mm-hmm.
of friends that are willing to step up at very low budget costs and give us a product that is above the budget we work on.
And is that another thing that you take care of out of your own pocket rather than having Invisible pay for, so you don't owe them any money?
The two budgets of our last video, somehow the people that worked on them chipped in. We did the second shoot was bigger than the first. The first shoot was a lot of friends volunteering. I mean, like I said, I work with these people in a professional setting, and they make comfortable livings, and they can, I guess, afford their time. And that was the first video, and that was 3 days of craft services is all I paid out of my pocket. So lunch for 3 days pretty much is what that cost.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one, I'd actually, I thought, hired Anesh to star in it, because I told him we'd take care of him, we were going to feed him, we put him up, but he didn't even want a hotel. He stayed at one of our friends' house, and I told him I was paying him this much. It came time to pay him, he wouldn't even take money. It was 2 days of shooting with Anesh, and he wouldn't even take the money at the end of the shoot. The director was supposed to give me all the receipts for makeup and props, and he's like, you know what, I'm just going to take care of it because I love you guys so much. He's a big fan of the band as well. So all of a sudden, we had a bigger budget for that, but everyone started chipping in, and that still went down to, I think, a couple of days of craft services was all we ended up paying.
That's one thing that you and I have talked about a lot back when we first started talking about music and stuff like that, was the old kind of everybody pitching in kind of thing, and that's still something that interests me. Is that something that you like about the music that we both love?
Well, I think it's definitely, not a mainstream form of music, and the people that are involved in it and like it definitely feel that they're part of a clique. That it's an inviting clique. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they want to exclude people, but being in it and liking a certain form of music is definitely a subculture. And I think they do feel helping each other out and advancing all of us is just kind of like chipping in. Like I said, a guy like Ganesh, you're in KMFDM your whole life playing huge shows, and you could be a complete prick, and people might even understand it.
Mm-hmm.
The absolute nicest man in the world, and he'd help you out, and he's nothing but he loves our band, and he's told me so many times, and he said he just wanted to help out. Where do you meet people like that?
Right. Yeah. One of the things that I always like to ask, what have I missed that you think is important for people to understand about Project 44, the band, or perhaps a message that you want to get across to people that may be separate from Project 44, or what do you think is important for people to know about you and your work?
Well, I think you can go right down to the message of the band, which has been kind of a passion of mine and is now driving me in other directions in my life. And 75% of the lyrics are definitely politically driven. And those are the things that kind of fire me up, and I've taken that to another step, and I'm actually running for office right now. That people that sit in the background and yell are annoying. People that actually get up and do things, I think, have purpose. And I've taken it to that next step. I've been the person that sits in the back and yells, but now it's taken it to a new level, and I'm actually melding the two and running for a commissioner office here in Illinois. Now, is that the message I'd say take from Project 44? I think enjoying the music and the stories I hear from people enjoying the music. I met a guy at a show recently, and he just came up to me and said, you know how many times I'm ticked off and I throw in that album and I'm out driving and blasting it, and it just makes me feel better. If you could take that from it and you don't even listen to the lyrics, that's great. If you dissect the lyrics and actually know what some of those minute details of those lyrics are, fantastic. But that's what I give from it. But whatever someone can take from it is it's great to hear any story of someone getting something from it.
Cool.